Hello everyone, I'm your host Sirisha Akela and welcome back to our series Life Musings by Dr. Padmaja Nandigama with our coach and guru Dr. Padmaja Nandigama, who is a psychology faculty, life coach, motivational speaker and also an academic advisor. Today's topic is about narcissistic behavior. Narcissism is closely linked to the need of admiration and outside validation. Almost everyone is narcissistic sometimes. It's true that the word gets thrown around a lot nowadays, but it pays to really know what is a narcissist and what if they are diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, along with how you can avoid one. Let's learn more about this mental health condition characterized by some common factors. So Padmaja Garu, what are the traits of narcissists?
Narcissism is like, self-absorbed behavior. They are so self-centered, they lack empathy. They're always thinking about themselves, to elevate themselves, and they are like maniacal. Yeah. They think that they can do anything, everything. It's always about like their bigger plans, bigger goals. So they are not interested in what's going on with others, so therefore they cannot look from others' perspective. So it's all about them, and the reason for that could be many. We'll talk about that. And here, there's the narcissists generally are focused only on building their case, and presenting themselves, are always in the positive light. Right. So they always put a positive spin around themselves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So how should we handle narcissists?
You see, as you said, all of us have a little bit of narcissistic traits here and there because all of us seek approval.
Yeah.
But then these narcissists are different in the sense that they need this constant validation. They're constantly looking for approval and they're like on a mission, right? And they don't listen to what other people are saying and they don't like to lose an argument. And if they are making any mistakes or they made any mistakes, they immediately push it on others. And they say that the reason I failed or the reason I'm not able to do this, it is because of he, she, or the environment.
Yeah, so just blame it on
other people because they, from their perspective, they're always going to think that they're right. And it is only, and they also think that everybody else is out there to get them. So here you might see these narcissists at work and at relationships, right? Yeah. Two places which you generally see. At work, it's a different scenario because obviously, what if your boss is a narcissist? You have to deal with them, right? And when you identify a narcissist, be it either in at work or in relationships or in social settings, one way is you have to assess: do I need this person around me? Do I need to tolerate him? Do I need, or can I move away from him? There are many situations where you don't need to interact with them; you can move away from them. So one thing is save yourself. Move away from them. And in many situations, like, sometimes these narcissistic behavior can get out of hands. They can get out of control. You can't control them. And it gets so frustrating and distressing to you because they're constantly lying. They are not agreeing to any of their faults. And in turn, they might be putting you at risk from many aspects. So your peace is at stake. Right? You don't want to be involved or be in that stressful situation where you have to be looking at your back all the time. So you don't feel secure. So if it is a personal relationship, again, try to make this person understand that they're being narcissistic, which they will not agree. So most often they won't even come to therapy or to a psychologist to help the situation because they're in denial, because they think they're right, and they think that you are trying to get them, or people are going to get them. So it's very hard to deal with these people. And if they are like pathological, they're constantly like that, then it becomes even tougher. So one thing is save yourself from the relationship.
But in a relationship, I mean, it's hard, right? You're with them all the time.
Yes.
Most of the time. So.
Right. Yes. See, as I said, like, you have to weigh the relationship. How much does this relationship mean to me? Right? Yeah. If it is like your partner. And what these people do in, especially in romantic relationships, initially when they're interested in a partner, in a person, they show their best behavior. They're very impressionable. And they are very charming too. They put their best foot forward because obviously they're trying to put a positive spin. They're trying to impress people. So obviously what's going to happen is the other person is going to fall for these antics. So they win in that way. But then you cannot sustain the interest of this narcissistic person, because after some time they get bored. They move from relationship to relationship. So again, the hallmark of this narcissistic personality is they move from relationship to relationship, especially when it is a romantic relationship. And they cannot give. In a healthy romantic relationship or in a healthy relationship, you have to give and take, right? Give and take could be affection. Give and take could be empathy. Give and take could be, compliments and helping the other person grow. That is missing here. So, and when these people see that they are not getting this constant reinforcement, or the other person is feeling distressed, oh, well, I'm feeling neglected. So they move on. So even for them, especially for them, it is going to be very tough. They make the situation tough to sustain in a romantic relationship for a long time. Right? So
got it. So how to deal with a narcissistic boss then? Like you said, even at work, what if someone really wants to stay in the work, they love the job, but then we can't deal with the boss?
You most often see this narcissistic behaviors at work. Be it boss or colleagues, and most often you see narcissistic behavior in males. So obviously, gender specific behavior. And if you're a female working with a male boss and a narcissistic boss, it's going to be very tough because these people are moody. If they think they're not getting their way, they're going to, be cranky, irritating, and because they're not getting their way, they're going to demean their subordinates. They're going to put them down, shred their self-esteem, because they have to feel good, right? Here in the narcissistic people, it's not only about making themselves feel good, but they try to make themselves feel good by putting other people down. See, that's the negative thing, So here these people constantly take credit for everything, all the work that is done. They don't give credit. So here, if you're working with a narcissistic boss, what I would suggest is, always stand for yourself and understand that it is not your problem. It is his problem or her problem if they're putting you down. Reassess your own skills and understand that you are worth, because obviously they're going to demean you, derogate you. So you have to take a moment, reflect upon your own skills, reflect upon your own strengths, and understand that you are good. And for that, you need to seek support from your colleagues, support from your peers, and you also have to build your skills, make yourselves indispensable, show your strengths all the time, and gently tell them like you're as good as you are, even if they accept it or not. And you understand that you're good. Even if the person accepts it or not, you're good. You should understand that.
Don't lose
confidence too. And also, try to take the credit whenever it is to you, because you need to get your attention or point out that you did put your effort and you deserve the recognition. And also, keep looking for other job opportunities, because you never know when this person is going to make it so miserable for you that you will probably have to leave the job at some moment, Yeah.
So how can like doctors and all, how can they diagnose that disorder, the NPD?
Yes. Here, narcissistic personality disorders get diagnosed very rarely, because one thing is the person is not going to the psychologist.
Right. Right.
Because his problem right away is, I'm good, and I'm the best, there's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
You are trying to get me. So they're not going to even go to the psychologist.
Yeah.
So you don't, so if you don't come to the doctor, how are you going to treat it? How are you going to diagnose it, right? So, and it is, the another problem is, this is like an ingrained personality. A lot of it has to be their personality, their genetics, their natural, tendency to be narcissistic. So that's one reason why they don't get treated or even go to the therapist.
Right. Actually, that brings to the next question.
Right.
So does that parenting mistake result in narcissistic kids?
Yeah, as I said, narcissistic behavior could be your personality, your genetics, and your environment when you're growing up. So when you say genetics, a part of it is coming from mom or dad or somebody in the family, and environment.
Yes.
So when you're growing up, if you've seen a parent who is narcissistic, or who is constantly boasting, or who has demeaned you so much that you develop a tendency to be the other end, to put yourself up there.
Right.
And if you observe many narcissistic people, the problem here is they have very low self-esteem. They themselves are suffering from low self-esteem. That's why they want to portray themselves as too good. To cover that low self-esteem, they're doing this as a shield. Okay. And you see a lot of this narcissistic behavior in social media these days.
Right.
You get bombarded by posts, photographs, constant need for appreciation, need for reinforcement. Why? If you take a moment and understand, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Are you doing this for a purpose to promote a product? Then it's okay. Yeah. If you are promoting a product, or if you are promoting a business, something like that, then it is okay that people has to look at it or get a hold of it. But then personally, you see a lot of people putting their pictures, a lot of people putting their life out there, constantly. Yeah, you share once in a way, it's good. But if you're constantly bombarding, there are people who put posts like, 4 posts a day or 5 posts a day. It's all about them. It's so it gets to a moment, you pity them. Yeah. It's nothing goes for you. You can silence that, But why is that person doing that? If you look at it, the need for validation, that there's something empty space in them, right? And they cannot look beyond themselves. So what is happening here is they cannot look beyond their environment. They cannot appreciate other people. They cannot share other people's information or even other news, or they're not even taking time away from themselves to appreciate other things. So it is all about them, about them. Why is this happening? Maybe they're having low self-esteem. Not maybe. They are having low self-esteem, and they're not getting that validation from people around their close circles. So that's why they're seeking it from other people in the social media. And social media is free, and that reinforcement which you get on the social media, that like, that comment, it gives a dopamine surge in your brain. It says, haha, it's good. Now we are fueling this behavior. Yeah. Right? This social media is kind of fueling this behavior by secreting that dopamine, the feel good feeling. And they keep doing it. They keep doing it. Here you're not abiding to any rules or any regulations. So that's that constant seek of validation and feel good thing is innate in them. Yeah.
Even we can see that in our young adults. Like with Snapchat and everything. They can just constantly keep on posting stuff.
Yes. See, young adults, you can understand a little bit of it because peer pressure. They want to be noticed. Right. That is the time when they are seeking partners, or they're seeking opportunities, or what, in different ways, they're putting themselves in that social world. Right. So it's a good thing for them in a way. But if that goes out of control, that you lack empathy to other people, and certain people, have this tendency of, like, say, for example, you see somebody talking about themselves. I went there. They immediately jump in and thought, oh, when I went there, so they're drawing that conversation towards them. Yes, we do feel sometimes, you have to consciously try not to say that.
Yeah.
You and I also probably immediately think, oh, I also did this, I also have this. But then you should allow the other person to have their moment before you try to step in and, but doing that once in a way is okay. You're trying to have a conversation there.
Right.
But these kinds of narcissistic people are there where they are constantly, any conversation you make, they draw it towards them. They pull it towards them. They can compliment other people without complimenting themselves.
Just interrupt. Love to interrupt.
Yeah. So, and they're in this belief that if people are complimenting them or people are appreciating them, they are doing that for their own worth. No, people are doing that because they have no other way. You push them to a corner, right? So they need to understand that, it might not be true. It may not, sometimes you need to get a reality check.
Correct.
Calm down and, but that doesn't happen because, as we said, narcissists are born narcissistic people, and that narcissism breeds in genes and personality.
So is there any way we can help them? I mean, the friends surrounding, the surrounded people.
Yeah. You have to give, like, say, for example, if you notice this maniacal behavior of self-involvement in your children while growing up and you think it's going out of bounds. So you need to have a talk with them and say that, it's good that your self-esteem is like a delicate right now. Try to improve your self-esteem and try to improve your skill. Maybe they are seeking validation from their close family, and talk to them. Like, why are they doing this? Or what is their actual thinking process behind this? If you catch it very young, you might be able to correct it. Yeah. Because, maybe they'll open up and say, hey, mom, I'm not able to get this validation from you and dad. So I do this, so we need to have a chat with them and really dissect a little bit of their self-esteem and their personality and help them understand that as long as they have goals and they achieve their goals and they are happy, it doesn't matter. It comes across that your true skill set and your true caliber they do come across and people can notice it. You don't have to, yes, you need to talk about it a little bit, you need to show your interest a little bit and show your talents out, but then not on constant, continuous basis. Don't bombard people with that.
So just keep checking.
Keep checking. And unfortunately, we are living in a world where everybody has to toot their horn sometime or the other. Yeah. You have to talk about your skills. Otherwise, people are going to snatch your opportunities or snatch your, your own achievements or your own hard work. So you have to take credit to whatever hard work you put in for your skills and for your, smartness, achievement, whatever it is. But then don't do it overboard. Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice. Yes. So there you have it. So by setting boundaries and being aware that you're dealing with a narcissist, you're on the right track to keeping yourself safe. So we'll see you all again next week. Thank you all for joining with us. Watch us live on Mana TV International with YUPP TV, and for repeat telecast, subscribe to Mana TV on YouTube and also like our Facebook page to stay connected. Stay healthy, stay happy, and stay smiling. Goodbye.
Bye.